What's going on YouTube? I have to use my mom's phone here because she left it at home, so I'm just gonna use that because my phone's fucking trash. I kind of want to get a new one soon. I don't know. I might just have to get a charging stand. I mean, my phone works. It's just doesn't know how to fucking charge, and it's so embarrassing for Apple. Can we talk about that enough on this channel? Like, do you want me to start every video by talking about it? Because, man, it's a fucking problem. Like, your charging port is a prong. A single fucking prong, dude. I don't know. Let's talk about Dexter. Season 9, we are 3/4 of the way this season. And this show did something with it that I never expected it to do, and it made for really good television. So let's talk about it. So Dexter and Travis are together in the abandoned church, kind of thinking of their next move. How are they going to get Gellar? Dexter finds Travis a hotel for him to kind of hide out and to be protected from Gellar. That's funny. We're going to talk about this soon. Dexter looks up two-lot online and finds it is an abbreviation for the second law of thermodynamics, the tendency of order to become disorder or chaos. And, two-lot was written on the bowls of... What was it called? The bowls of what? One of the tableaus. Whatever, it doesn't really matter, but he figures out there's like this professor that teaches this concept, and he made like a whole book about it, and he realizes that's going to be Gellar's next victim. Deb talks to the psychiatrist about Dexter. We've kind of seen some of her meetings over the last couple of episodes, talking about how she feels kind of shut out on Dexter's life and like not in the loop. He shuts her out, and yeah. And the therapist says maybe we should meet more. You apparently have a lot of problems to talk about, Before Deb's briefing, Masuka tells the guys about Quinn getting loaded and proposing to strippers. I mean, Quinn for a couple of episodes now has gone completely off the deep end. And in the first place, he hasn't really been in a great spot in his life. He's had a lot of like love troubles and stuff. So yeah, it's unfortunate, but yeah. Angel shows up at Quinn's place where he's passed out on the floor to kind of like get him to fucking gather because he missed the briefing. He's like, yeah, he's going to show up soon, blah, blah, blah. He doesn't show up to the briefing. So Batista shows up at his house, picks him up, like, where the fuck is your gun? Where's your phone? He loses them both in this stripper's car. Oh, man. His cell phone's all the way across town at this girl's house. The father, Jessica Morse, tells Deb he'd like her to reopen his daughter's case, and that's obviously very conflicting because LaGuerta doesn't want her to do so. Her sternum is cracked, and that's kind of like a breakthrough in that case. They still have DDK, but this is her father. Like, you can't just shove him to the side like, no, we can't do that. LaGuerta's a piece of shit, and she obviously has a ploy with Matthews, which I kind of forget to bring up from time to time. Masuka tells Lewis that he should tell Jamie how he feels, and if she likes him back, she'll take care of any of Angel's objections. Like, he's trying to kind of give him relationship advice, which is funny, because why would you take a relationship advice from a guy like Vince Masuka? I think it was a kind of a comical little thing. Dexter brings Travis some food and tells him about this blog. He just posted something, a new post on his blog, updated it, and they kind of talked about that at the briefing, and yeah. The false prophet, and false prophet meaning Dexter, pretty much. And so now he has a target on his back from Gellar, which is funny because we're gonna get into a plot twist in this episode. Dexter spent some time at Harrison's preschool helping to set out snacks for the kids, bonding time with the son. At the same time, he has all this stuff going on with his life, but he needs to find time for his family. Quinn drops by to see the woman he hooked up with, but it turns out not to be the hot young daughter, but the much older and not so attractive mother who greets him enthusiastically. And this just makes for a very comical moment. Obviously, everything goes smooth. They retrieve Quinn's sidearm and cell phone, and they leave. Angel's car breaks down, and they argue, and they fight about some things, like their love life, their relationships. He's like, should I really be taking this from you, Sergeant Batista? Batista had like a little sting operation with that one officer. What the hell happened to her, by the way? She die? I can't remember what the hell happened to her. It's been a while since that storyline took place. Dexter drops by one of Casey's classes to maybe like kind of warn him and bring up like, you're in fucking danger. You better like Like, be careful, man. Casey has late office hours, and that makes him know or think that that's when Professor Gellar is going to attack. Dexter sets up his kill room at the abandoned church to catch Gellar, which we know now is not going to age too well. He has to kill Travis's dark passenger, and like he tells his Harry, his vision, his dad, about it. And his dark passenger, I think that's really good, like a good literary device by the show to mention that, because his dark passenger, it's actually him. Like, it's just him. It's not Gellar. Gellar's like him, pretty much. And, Dexter never saw Gellar. So, yeah, obviously, it was him all along. As they sit in the car, Travis tells Dexter that Gellar convinced him they were chosen by God to bring on the end of days. And this is kind of like their motivation. He kind of shares a little bit of their origin story. Casey's already been taken, the mission kind of like sets out, and they're like, oh shit, he's already fucking gone. Like, we're too late. Obviously, Travis says, oh, there's Gellar, to distract Dexter, and Dexter disappeared and separated from Gellar, and yeah, we know what the fuck happened from there, right? Back at the hotel, Dexter tells Travis they can still stop Gellar, and they can still maybe catch him getting away. He's like, use the blog to get back at Gellar. The next day, Deb tells Dexter the Doomsday Killers have struck again, and Dexter knows exactly what happened. And it was Gellar. I mean, obviously, it was Casey that died. So yeah, the arm buckets, blood pours on top of them. The whole trap thing was kind of insane. I really liked that for the show. Travis wakes with a start at the hotel. He sees like the message on the wall, which like obviously he put it there now that we know to make it look like Gellar's presence is still there. Deb tells the psychiatrist about Dexter being related to Brian Moser, and there's just these things. We're back to the psychiatrist. I'm sorry, I'm kind of bouncing around. I don't want this video to be super short because I have all the time in the world to make videos today, but like, yeah. I don't want to like be dwelling on this episode for too long. I still got to go and watch The Walking Dead. I got a 2K gameplay video to do. Hopefully we'll stream tonight. But yeah, all these things are just toppling for Deborah as she's talking to the psychiatrist. Empowered by her therapy session, Deb tells Maria that if she has a problem with her reopening Jessica Morse's case, she should fire her. She gets in her face like, what the fuck are you going to do about it? Fire me. Like, you think I'm... Yeah. Maria gets into a car with Matthews, and we learn that he was the one who was with Jessica when she OD'd. So, yeah, it's a really fucked up situation. If he stuck around, obviously, it would have ruined his career. While Travis washes off the blood, he gets a call from Dexter. The writing is on the wall from the thing. Blah, blah, blah. Dexter asks Deb whether they are okay. She's working on herself. He kind of confronts her because he realizes, she's going through some things. Like, he can tell. He's her brother, obviously. Masuka brings Deb an IP address from Lewis that's from an unsecured network, and they're going to go investigate and see if they can find Gellar's place from there. The signal can add a mile or two with like the boosted signal, and yeah. And you can see the church in the distance. Yeah. Lewis is Jamie over to his fancy penthouse apartment. Remember, Lewis isn't like an intern. He just went there as an undercover intern to develop a game, pretty much. Yeah, they end up having sex. Lewis is in possession of the prosthetic hand. That's another really cool plot twist. A couple of plot twists in this one, and I really appreciated it. Travis and Dexter sit outside the church. They kind of like formulate a plan to catch Masuka, or Gellar, not fucking Masuka. Yeah. Gellar, like, they obviously have Gellar acting in the scene, but it's not him. It's obviously like the dark passenger. In the back, Dexter prepares his kill room. Dexter walks into the church and finds Travis lying on the floor. He's like unconscious. A lot of crazy shit's happening. There's a trap door. And he finds Gellar's dead body in the cooler. And he realizes that Travis has been acting alone this entire time. And Travis gets on his feet, and Dexter comes to a realization like, oh shit, Travis is the one that fucking killed these people, and he used Gellar as a ploy. He used Gellar as a cover-up, which was fucking like genius for him. But now, and then the last 3 episodes, we're gonna see the standoff between Dexter and Travis. You know, the tables have turned, and it's a whole different thing. It's a whole different battle here. So, yeah, I really like that they added that. I know this episode seemed kind of concise, but again, it's 50 minutes of TV. I didn't want to sit here for that whole time and just talk about what happens. I just kind of like summing up these episodes. But yeah, 2K gameplay's coming out today. I think I should be able to hop on PlayStation and maybe stream tonight. You know, some Rocket League, do a little bit of Rust. I'm not really sure, but have a good rest of your night, guys, or day, whatever. Peace out.